Sure, your comments are on.
Yeah, that's an annoying sound. Hey man, that was pretty quick. I'm gonna flip it around here. I gotta talk to someone about that. I mean, that's nothing specific, but the situation.
What's that noise?
That's the
AC vent.
one of the fans is acting a fool.
Yes, taking in.
Hello, everyone. We're taking a little trip. What's going on? Sorry, I have my Wi-Fi on and it's ruining it. Oh my god. There we go. Sorry about that, everyone. I just have when I have my Wi-Fi on, it'll connect to Xfinity hotspot, and then it'll just like kill it. So you guys can probably hear that clicking sound. If my air conditioning's on anything but low, it just goes to the clicking. Did I bring that soda with me? I brought this soda with me. That's what I did. Yeah, I'm gonna get some fox. I'm going back to the foxtail seed, and we're just going to a store because Ashley's daughter Emma wants to get some jeans. So, like I kind of wanted to go on here because I wanted to vent a little bit, and it has nothing to do with unfortunately with palms, except for it has to do with cycads. Like I'm completely done with the cycad world. Aren't I?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Like I'm so fed up with it. Hello, BL says hello, Ashley and daughter.
Hi.
Wow, 5 inches in 3 days. So yeah, as you guys know, I used to work in Miami, and I haven't been there in 9 months because basically my job is no longer, I don't know, what was it? Just, it wasn't fired or anything. They just didn't need me anymore for what they were doing. It turns out everyone else that was working there basically was, saying that I wasn't doing certain things that I was obviously doing, and when people have this full-time job, the person I was working for is a very wealthy individual, and these people, they take these jobs as full-time positions, and they really their job is very hard to find elsewhere. Being a specialist, like a plant specialist, it's just hard to get a job like that, even in bigger cities that pay that well, and so they really will just try and throw everybody else under the bus. I mean, where am I going? We're going on
to Ross.
Ross is where? Oh, I thought we were going to Kohl's. Sorry. So I got to go down this way, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm all over the road. Probably gonna get pulled over now. So a couple of people that I'm friendly with in the plant business, also would work for this person, and I feel like money might have gotten in the way of some friendships, and my integrity was questioned because basically I was in charge of a computer program. I did all this work for database work for plants, and then the person who inherited it said that I didn't do any of the work, but they didn't even know, they were not even computer literate, but they couldn't find it. So in order to cover their own ass, they said that I didn't do anything. So I was finally fed up, and I wasn't even hearing about this from the person who had hired me. It was second hand, third hand. And so that's why you guys haven't seen any vlogs from Miami in a while. And really it upsets me greatly because, if you guys go online and Google my name, you can see what I do. And, there's some ratings of people, whether it's my business or just on the Palm Society or on Google. And for this person to not approach me a person who does somewhat is almost basically a billionaire to not approach me in a professional manner to address these things, but instead just think that I was just screwing them is like it the passion I have for plants is the passion I have for plants. Like people who want to screw each other in a business situation, like they can go do that all they want, but he must be so used to that he just anyway. So I worked at Fairchild BL. That was 10 years ago, but I also worked last year in 2017. I worked at a private garden in Miami, and that's what I'm talking about. Fairchild was a little bit. I mean, you guys probably hear a lot about me like saying this was bad, that was bad. Like if I had a bad experience, I mean, I can tell you about a million good experiences as well. Like for example, Gazella Copsic is like the best, in my opinion, the best run. It's a public garden. It's free, and they have like an amazing collection. So, with Panama disease, and I'm not familiar with that, Catfish King. Look, there's still Christmas lights somehow. It's February. It's interesting. Is that a public building?
It used to be the old police station.
Oh, really? Anyway, so these. I mean, it's something like that's going to go public. It's all private, and the guy doesn't even want his name put out there, and I'm not going to do that because that's unprofessional. But the person I had worked for, is a. I just didn't think that it would go down like this, but it's just kind of sad. I've seen like people that I've been close to for a long time, basically try and like sell me out so that they could keep their job. It's so sick, or even take my job, and it's the amount of pain when you put a lot of like your love for plants and stuff like that into it, and you get that in return. It's like finding out that your best friend killed your mother. It's like it just. I mean, it's not that bad, but it feels like that at first. So that's my venting. I've asked a few people what I should do about it, and they're just like, I've come to a conclusion about it. So, I mean, I have proof I did all the work. It's not like, but, and if they can't find it, then I guess we're gonna have to spend another 300 hours of the work, the database entry. So, sorry. Gangrene for bananas. Oh, that sounds familiar. Pinecrest Gardens? No, it's not a. Pinecrest Gardens also a great place. This is a private garden. I think Pinecrest is owned by the city of Pinecrest, or the town of Pinecrest. It's not a garden that you would know, and I would be breaching like an unspoken contract, even though I probably could just tell you like the address. I'm not going to do that because that's not the right way to do this. So it's not any gardens you guys know. It's a private client with a garden that rivals many botanical gardens, I'll just put it that way. And I was working like 100 hours a month for them from like June of 2017 to June of 2018, and then just like out of nowhere it was like, oh, we don't need you anymore. But they still try and like suckle on the teat of information that they want to get from me, and I still they still have to get charged for it. But it's almost like they've cheaped out on it or whatever. But I mean, I bought an RV like to work with this place. It just, I dedicated myself, and the return that I got was like a slap in the face. And I don't just take those sorts of things, no matter like what caliber of the client. Like if they did something wrong, I'm going to like mention it to them. I'm not going to like out them or say this person is a fraud or whatever. I mean, they're not a fraud, but I have the right to be upset though, So, all right. Take a left here.
No, the next
Okay.
one.
I don't even know my way around here. You want 10 pounds of Sable Minor seed? I can tell you right now, I have like 5 pounds of it, and it's about 8,000 seeds. So that's probably like, you're looking at close to $1,000. Oh, the next one.
The
Okay.
light. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, we're back at the place with the Royals. You guys remember this place? Because they were here with me when I, what's it called? Bought the game. Yeah. Yeah, the old monkey jungle is, well, the old monkey jungle is in Pinecrest. I mean, the new one's out there in Redland. Yeah, 10 pounds is a lot of seed, especially when the seed is like the size of a, I mean, it's tiny. I'll show you guys. I have 10,000 seed, or I had 10,000. I probably have 8 now. I'm gonna collect royal seed. Like I'm gonna make I'm gonna dedicate like a night to doing that. But I don't have any right at this moment. The stuff that I had kind of contracted out to a buyer that, you know, had asked for it months ago. Oh man! All right, we're taking a left here. Oh, I'm like ready to take a left into a one-way situation. All right. Oh yeah, I used to stay in Redland all the time. One of my best friends in the plant world lives there. I haven't been there in a while though. I know where I can see that large. And don't worry, I'm not going to Publix again. I'm actually going to hang out in the car while they go in because they're doing some stuff, and I can talk to you guys because I'm sure you guys don't want to go into a clothing store. It's actually a pretty good place to collect some seed though. Enough from over there? All right, here. So it's just you. This. Okay, now that's. I'd have to put my phone on my head. I had to really get a GoPro. I have like a cheap version on the drone, but let me just make sure. BL, when this is all settled, I can kind of reveal a little bit more, but until it's kind of settled, there's an outstanding amount of money owed to me that if I were to go for public with all this information, it's not like, I mean, I'm not like, this isn't like the tobacco industry and I'm like saying, you know, but yeah, Pinecrest is better. It's more laid back. I don't like botanical gardens that have a lot of like pomp and circumstance. Like, you know, plants are just, you know, it's meant to be a jungle. Gazella Copsic looks great. I mean, it's funded by public money. Fairchild is just a wedding reception area now, as far as I'm concerned. I really am ready to, like, when things like this happen to me, where like I get like thrown down like this, it makes me want to even greater, like, start something that is not like not going to be taken over by the people who just want to, you know, for the glory of it. I do it for the love of the plants. So yeah, I have a lot of friends that actually have 5-acre parcels there. I honestly, I would do walk around and guess the palm, but there's only like 2 species of palm here, and they're pretty easy. So, um, Dylan, I think some of the most colorful palms are probably some of the understory ones like Penanga, Calyptrocalyx, Areca. Um, then some from the New World are like Geonoma. No, it's cool, BL. I'm sure, you know, I mean, I obviously piqued curiosity. I don't mean to be like, I know this great thing, but I can't tell you about it. It's just, I can't give out like specifics, but basically, you know, a large client kind of like just, I mean, you know, it's just like any big business. You might, you know, people do like independent work for you. You get screwed sometimes, and that's really what's happened to me. So, Yeah, flamethrowers are definitely colorful. I know. I have like 12 people. This guy isn't someone you can really go vigilante on. I mean, his business network is kind of. It's not like it's like a whole conglomeration of like businesses. It's not like something that like he's you know yeah. I see the Royals and Palm. That's really all there is. There's one Washingtonia like way in the back there. That's all there is around me. So, but he isn't like a grower. He's like he had a vision for a garden, but I mean I went through like a 10-acre garden and labeled everything. I didn't physically label them, but I put them in a database, and these people are accusing me of never doing it. Which is pretty. It's just sad. Like, why would I do that? Like, eventually, someone's going to find out that I didn't do it if I didn't. Like, I don't like hit and run people. I think anyone that's met me knows that I'm not going to do that to them. And anyone that thinks that I screwed them over probably had it coming to them anyway. So, but I respect people who respect, like, me as a person, and otherwise, like, yeah, it's just, and also this happened like today, so obviously I'm a little more like jacked up about it. Uh, when I get a call from a friend saying that this person said that you didn't do this, it's like, well, they can call me and like talk to me about it, or they can just it's just one of those things that it's like when you hear about celebrities and they saying like, oh well, so and so loves doing coke or something. It's like, that's so unfair to that person. I don't know. No, no. The Cuban drug dealer. No. Um, there's some. I mean, to give you an idea, this guy has a 10-acre parcel, which is all plants pretty much, or farming for ridiculous citrus trees, which shouldn't be there. Um, Two houses on the water in Coral Gables, valued together at about $45 million, if not more. A house in Malibu, a house in Beverly Hills. His net worth is somewhere around 900 million US. So, if I gave you any more information about him, you guys might know who he is. But it's upsetting when someone like that just thinks that because they are who they are in a financial perspective, they can take advantage of me, or just, I don't know. Yeah, it's just hard because when I left that job, it was like full-time work to like nothing at all, and with no notice. And it wasn't because of this situation. He just decided that my job wasn't required there. And then all of a sudden, I'm getting phone calls saying, "Hey, Christian, can you ID this cycad? Can you ID, what palm do you think this is? Is this palm okay? Does it spear? Is it pulling out? It's pulling out. Is it okay? It's does it look like it's rotting? Is this Copernicia fluense, or is this Bailey? Is this Copernicia glabrescens, or is it Copernicia yare?" And they're like basically wanting me to work for free without having to actually hire me, and that's not the way it works. So, but I don't mind IDing stuff for you guys, like small stuff. But when these people have like gardens and they are professionally doing stuff and they're hiring a professional, that's where they're going to pay some money for that. So, the oldest palms in my area are probably going to be in Fort Myers. Or what are they? Mostly coconuts, royals, um, really old African oils, a lot of old, lutescens like Ericas. Um, in Cape Coral, it's going to be more like really old royals and coconuts. I mean, they're usually the oldest ones. The palmettos are old, but they're just not that. They don't look that old because they all look old, in my opinion. But palmetto is like a nice elderly, your nice like grandfather. Like he's kind of hanging out. He looks a little weathered, but he can take a beating, and he has a lot of stories to tell. And he's always dependable, and they'll love you no matter what. That's how I view palmettos. But I appreciate, um, Daniel and everyone else, like, sorry that I had to vent about that. But my Adelaide is doing good. Chris saw it. I have two of them. Hey, Chris, what's going on? Chris can tell you he saw the Calenda and the Speciosa. They're just they're not growing as fast right now, because we're at about, hitting, it's like 80 today, low of like 60. I think it's gonna be like 60 tonight. I think it's like 66, 68 right now. Yeah, once they get some height, they'll even be more awesome. So, I don't have any needles that have. I actually just have seed right now. I'm gonna germinate them though. So, um, so if you want them once they're germinated, but I feel bad calling you Catfish King if you, I don't know if you want to give out your real name on here, but yeah, 67 for a low. That's nice. That's warmer than here. Let me see. I hate leaving you guys in here like this. Let me just see. I even got my stick with me. Yeah, the Adelaides basically don't exist in Port Charlotte. Zach? Okay, Zach, that works well. One of my best friends from Virginia is named Zach. Just ZAC. So. No, I actually got the seed from the Venice area. Which palm review? The one I did of the Decipiens. No, yeah, that one is actually not seeding yet. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I don't have to hold it like with my. It's like just. It's hard to explain unless you're actually doing it. But let's get out of this smoke-infested dungeon. Even though they said they'd be right out, it's probably gonna be 15 minutes because. Yeah, Daniel. There's actually a lot of decor around. Here, and they're starting to seed, and they've been seeding for probably about 10 years. So, but check this out. This is what's happened to my car in the past 2 months. I'm at a store. Boom! Someone opens the car door. I don't see it. So, dent right there, right in like the worst part, and then somehow this little scratch happens here, and then this little rubbing situation there. It's hard to see, but then you like right there. I mean, it's not a big deal, but this is why I don't like owning a new car. Anyway, let's go do palm stuff. Smoky dungeon, yeah. Yeah, I've learned to kind of park away from shady situations, but for the first year that I own this truck, like, just immaculate. So, I mean, I'll, when it gets older, I'll probably just, do some touch-up stuff. So, let's see, what's the most interesting way that we can try to find a royal, but we'll just kind of walk and talk here. Yeah, Daniel, there's the first seating one that I. All right, sorry guys, it just froze up. If you ever see it freeze up, basically think about like a 3-minute restart. I got to restart the phone. No, it just froze just for no reason. So, as you can see, those palmettos are probably like the ones sitting around there are probably wild. They're probably they'll usually bulldoze around them. But sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. I usually get great reception throughout town, and maybe there's a better streaming device that I should get, or just camera. GTA mode, just see like my hand like go and open a door and then take it. Look at this line. Yeah, this this is a Note 8. I'm sorry, Note 9, and you usually think that the like it can handle, like it says it can handle streaming pretty well. So let me just. Sable Miner is actually pretty uncommon around here. They rarely plant it as a decorative thing, and it doesn't grow here naturally. I have a question for those of you who don't live in the U.S. Are McDonald's this busy abroad? Because I haven't eaten at McDonald's and I couldn't tell you how long. That's cool. Chris, I should send you an address of a place that has some pretty amazing palms, and the guy's really cool about stopping by. He went to Madagascar starting about 20 years ago and started collecting stuff. He's actually also a veterinarian, but he's not the veterinarian that I was talking about that was shady. He does educational stuff for children in Madagascar. He's a very nice person. Sorry, man. Sorry, guys. It's all about out here. Ashley's wondering where I am now, so she's in the car, so we got to go back. So it's actually in the Davie Southwest Ranch. Well, not Davie. It's more closer to Southwest Ranches. So you could probably hit it up on your way out, back up to Clearwater. Hey, I'm here. Sorry, I didn't want to just keep them all cooped up in the smoky dungeon. Oh yeah, so there's actually a 24/7 one in South Headland. Huh? That's pretty cool. All right, let me try and do this in one fluid motion. Oh yeah, that's not working. Hey, Market Q. I'm doing well. You got my email? All right. Everything go well in there? Did they find you shoplifting? Did the loss prevention person come up to you and say, hey, good evening?
Yeah.
There's a person in there, it's usually someone that's 5'8", 85 pounds. It's like Emma's size, except for a little bit taller. And they're it says loss prevention on them. I don't know if they're meant to be some kind of security, but yeah, the only time I'll ever eat at McDonald's is when I have no other options. So
That was very nice.
no, we're talking about McDonald's on the stream.
Oh.
I was walking over there when you gave me a call, but it's just there's so many options for food. If I'm driving, I'm in the middle of nowhere and I got to get going. Yeah, I'll go to McDonald's, but I don't think hey, Ashley, what's for dinner tonight? I think McDonald's is for dinner tonight. Maybe she thinks that, but I don't. A little game of chicken here. What's that? It's my headset going off. Oh. Asia Buffet.
Turn and U-turn.
Not make a U-turn? I'll just go down to Veterans. I'd love to do a trip to Wawa, Daniel, but Emma's got to get back to the house, and I actually have steaks I actually have food that I'm not eating takeout. I know it probably comes shocking, but there's actually a couple boneless ribeyes waiting for me. Wawa, I don't think stands for anything. It's just a name. I'm sure it has some kind of origin to it, but it doesn't actually mean anything that I know of. I'll have to look it up on Wikipedia actually. But or Wawa's Cuban. Wawas actually are not Cuban. They're from Pennsylvania. Maybe you're thinking of Pollo Tropical. Is that what you're thinking about? You're right. Wawa does sound kind of weird for like a name of a. It could be called like the country store and gas station. It would sound a little nicer, but Wawa sounds like a baby asking for water. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Oh, is there Cuban? Okay. It's more like a Tampa Cuban. Yeah, it's definitely a Tampa style Cuban. They're even. I mean, the bread is you can either get it on like.
Sandwiches
Yeah.
are good.
No, they are good there, but I'm just saying, is it more like a Miami style Cuban or a Tampa style Cuban? It's more Tampa style. Ashley doesn't know the difference, but she's like, yeah, okay. Just nodding her head. Like a little boy coming out to the fields for a quickie. Does anyone know where that quote is from? No, there isn't salami on. I mean, it does have the same pork and everything, but like, it isn't as. I feel it's. I don't know. The bread is more Tampa style. It's not like a flat Cuban, real Cuban style like you'd see in Miami. There is no salami. I guess I didn't realize there was salami on the Tampa ones. I just eat them. We do barbecue at home. I do have a grill and like the Ninja Foodie, so we do cook foods. I know it seems like a crazy thing.
We don't cook anything.
No, we do. I make cauliflower and I make potatoes.
I cook.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I was.
She cooks. And guess what? I'll start cooking because of a cooking class.
I'm sorry.
So I'll make your all's dinner.
I was never taught like how to cook anything, so I rely on the skills of others. I mean, I can cook a steak, but like I mean, I've cooked hamburgers. Just
Wait, Mom, do we have any leftovers today?
No. I'm going to be making steak.
yeah, I've actually had Cubbies there. They're really good. They are definitely fire. Yeah, there's definitely a Tampa-Miami rivalry. I like Tampa's. It's a little more laid back. I would have to go for Tampa, and I go for mango chicken. Yeah, that is the problem in Miami. I mean, these people, they drive to work. Like, I mean, I used to work there, and luckily I worked right on site that I stayed, so my commute was zero. But I see people, like just going to get some lunch, going 10 avenues west was like what 10-12 minutes each way if in rush hour. Market Q,
Driving there was awful.
yeah. Ashley's favorite place to eat in Miami was Domino's Pizza.
It was not. My favorite place was,
Yeah, it's hard to discriminate. You're right, BL.
oh my gosh, why can't I think of the name of the place?
Which one? The Iranian place? A Rice House of Kebab?
Yeah.
Yeah, so BL, I don't know if you like Middle Eastern food, but there's a place called Rice House of Kebab. There's one in Kendall at 137 in Miller. There's one in North Miami. Yeah. And there's also one, I think there's one in Fort Lauderdale or Miramar.
What's the race?
And there's two Mustangs again. I used to have, an 02 GT, but it wouldn't even hold a light to those things. Those things like start out V6s at 305 horses, and I think they're all V6s. The way that I see them pulling. Yeah, kebabs are great. They would have like a you can get Greek salads, you can get like homemade hummus and like yogurt dip, and I get the the ground sirloin kebabs in like a salad situation with jasmine rice, and I get an extra thing of hummus, and I just like gnaw it down.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think Iranian food does well in Tennessee, I would say. Yeah, I would think mango chicken would be something you would eat that would be popular in India. I imagine there's some variation that you might eat. Because when I think of like mangoes, besides like, I would say like India is like my number one place to think of like, mango added to almost anything. But I would love to have some like home cooked Indian food. Yeah, the tartan acidity of the mango like really like helps with the chicken. Kind of lets it down a little bit and definitely permeates. Gives it that extra flavor. There's like a mango glazed chicken. One of the best chickens I ever had was maple syrup glazed chicken. I mean, you don't like coat it in it, but you add it to the mixture like a marinade and grill it.
It's disgusting.
It's actually good. It caramelizes. Hey, what you know about that? You're not from the Northeast where we drink maple syrup by the bottle. We have chugging contests.
Alright, we have syrup. Let's see who can do it.
Well, I also don't want diabetes right
Do
now,
what?
so.
Chug syrup.
We gotta go to Grandpa's because of my glasses.
All right, well, why don't I park and then you guys walk over? Is that okay?
What, you can't drive us?
No,
Really?
I'm just kidding.
Okay. I can't tell if you guys are being serious or not.
I need some help.
You do need some help. Good luck with that.
Destiny just got asked. I'm just trying to help. I'm trying to help her, and I don't know what to say.
Okay. Well, you girls figure that out, and I'll just be talking on here for a little bit.
When I walk back over, your butt better be off that.
Hey, listen here, woman.
Or that's what happened.
Yeah?
Right on your booty.
Yeah, right on the booty? Like Nutella? Yeah, so, I don't blame you. I wish I didn't have, oh man, that sucks with that Camaro. If I didn't need a car to get around everywhere, I probably wouldn't own one. I'd probably just have a motorcycle. Yeah, so my dad's family owned owns a large parcel of property near the Vermont New Hampshire border by the Connecticut River, and they have a bunch of maple trees, and they have someone come and tap the trees, and then they get a portion of the sales. So like when I went up to Vermont to see my dad, it's been in a few years, but he would just have gallons of maple syrup just sitting there, and he would just like, give them to me. So he would get it for around like, I could get it for like $35 a gallon, which is pretty good. So yeah, you saw that mango? That's a Lancetilla. I actually bought that for one of my other large clients. And he wasn't in town, and I called up. I'm like, listen, there's this massive mango in your tree, and one of the other ladies from the neighborhood is just going to steal it. He's like, well, then take it then. That thing wasn't even ripe. I mean, it turned ripe, but it wasn't ripe at the moment. It probably got even bigger, like another few ounces. But I weighed it out, and yeah, it was, I think 6 pounds, 3 or 4 ounces, which is almost 3 kids, like 2.8 kilos. and we made a mango, like we chopped it up and put it in like a Tupperware thing, and it took up like a massive Tupperware. So, but yeah, I mean, when Ashley does come back, I gotta shower and shave and brush my teeth, and we gotta cook some stuff. So I know Ashley's starving. She started eating ice cream. Ashley, I'll tell you guys a funny story about Mango. I drive up there because my flights experience. I don't know if I've told you. I mentioned on the vlog before, but I was in an emergency landing actually twice consecutively flying back from Greece, and I've been hesitant to get on a plane since then. But Ashley, we went to Bahama Breeze in at Kendall Place in Miami, and just it's like basically a Caribbean themed restaurant, a franchise. Um, and Ashley ordered some kind of ceviche thing, and she didn't realize there was mango in it, and her lips started puffing up, and she's like, "I don't know what's going on," and so she called the waitress, and like then there was like three people over there like helping her with ice, and she got all embarrassed because like everyone was staring at her, but she's highly allergic to a mango. And actually, a lot of people that I worked with in Fairchild were allergic to mangoes. So what they would do is they bring the mangoes, no one would take them, so I would eat. Um, not like being at a palm and not collecting the seed from it. I mean, I regret not collecting more of something. Um, yeah, I like to drive. Market Q, they're pretty messed up. The problem is U.S. railways are set up for freight and not for passenger. So if they're not going to a major city, it sucks. Although I like the trains, so you can take a train from like Orlando to Washington D.C. and it's not that bad. But once you get south of Orlando, it's very hard. You get to connect a lot of trains. It's not like a lot of Europe where it's very easy to, um, get around through high speed trains. I know India trains are very important. I've seen them; they're very well packed. That's good. Yeah, there's it's a terrible thing to taste the food that you love and then have an allergic reaction to it. So yeah, I used to do those, the straight through drives. I drive from like, central Vermont down to Florida. I've done that 4 times. I drove from Connecticut to Miami once. I drove from New York to, yeah. Yeah. I know the Indian railways are very important, but yeah, there isn't even a railroad, that operational railroad, I think within like 100 miles of here. So uh, the highways are so important. They're the veins of, I guess you could say, of our economy. I actually, when I go up north now, I don't even go through like DC, New York City because of all the tolls and traffic. I actually cut out and go like through on 81. So 21 hours, yeah. And yeah, I always try to take like the road less traveled. If there's another route, then I'll take it. The only time I really have to be on 95 is from like basically the Florida Georgia line. So Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia, and then the rest of the time I can find another way around to my dad's place in central Vermont. I have no interest in driving through like DC, then Baltimore, then like Wilmington, Philadelphia, and then New York. So okay, so you take 77 to 81. Is that what you do? I wonder why they went over there. Yeah, obviously fast food, when you're driving and it's just there. But I had a little bit of revelation. I had gained probably like 20 or 30 pounds since I started this uh, vlog, and I had a high blood pressure reading, and I don't know if it was from like just anxiety or just being unhealthy, but I've tried to cut down on like a lot of other unhealthy stuff. So, all right, Daniel, see you later. Thanks for coming on. But and I'll try and get back to all that. I've just gotten a lot of emails, and because of this situation that unfolded today, I've been kind of like backed up with like responding and stuff. Oh, Dylan, I beat Resident Evil 2 in playing as Leon, and now I'm playing as Claire because there's two different stories. Yeah, I definitely need a week of downtime. Market Q, I will play. I used to play tennis a lot and soccer, but I haven't played in a while, and I should probably. And no, I don't have any trachea seedlings. They just don't do well here. They don't like our summers. So, yeah, don't. It's definitely like the first couple Resident Evils are very like they're probably the most like horrific of them all. The other ones are more like action games, and the fact that they redid it with like today's technology, it's pretty intense. The game is not as long as you think it would be, but it's still like it's just extremely creepy. I'm hoping I could actually do it tomorrow, depending on how much I get done. As you can see, I was packing up, plants today, and then I had to take Ashley to get sushi, which was interesting. The place has been under different management like 3 or 4 times now. But I just have to. I used to have a lot of like so much Palmer stuff that I could review, and now I'm kind of like. I'm going to be going to Venice tomorrow, so you guys can see me on the live stream. I'll be driving up. And if I can think of a cool plant I can stop by, then I will. That's a good question, BL. I get asked that a lot. I don't know. I like a palm that's reliable, that, will always be there for me. So, like, there's a lot of these cool tropical stuff, these cool tropical plants, but honestly, I mean, I can name some of my favorites. One of them is Livistone alfredii. There's a couple like elusive ones I want to get, like Tectophiala ferox. I really have a thing for Neovicia, but I have to kind of like look at all the palms I've ever looked at and tell you, or I could do what David Fairchild said, and his favorite palm was the one that was standing in front of him. So anyway, but back to so Market Q, Pichardias, that should be okay. 15 Celsius nights, 27 Celsius days. Oh, it gets hot, like 115 in like May and June, and it's humid too. Imagine like Mike Pfister. Usually there are not seed at the end of the March for Cuban palms, although sometimes they'll seed at odd times, but it generally tends to have the same kind of pattern as a lot of the Florida stuff, which is like usually the end of the summer. So I've seen them just randomly seed, but sometimes they'll just abort the seed. So yeah, you can do that. They will definitely pop at that temperature. So Oh, there's gonna be an ice storm. I gotta check that out. Our weather isn't changing. It's gonna be like this way for the next like week and a half. So yeah, I know that part of Tennessee can get pretty brutal. Definitely West Tennessee. I should probably go inside. I want to take a shower and stuff. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and end the stream here, guys. I think Ashley's coming back. So thanks for watching. And like I said, you guys can always email me, find me on Facebook. If I don't get back to you right away, I apologize. I get a lot of emails about stuff that I just can't answer all of them, but you know, I'll get like 10 emails about from people that I bought things on eBay and they don't know what they are, and I'm kind of confused as to what they're asking. But anyway, sorry, Market Q. I know that that's not a tradition in your country, and I don't want to. I know that they're considered sacred, so forgive me. But yeah, you guys have a good evening, and but if you ever come over here to America, I promise I won't take you out for steak. But yeah, you guys have a good night, and we'll talk soon. I'll be, like I said, I'll be live tomorrow because I'm gonna be heading to Venice. So have a good evening, and until then, may your palms grow fast and your seeds germinate.